What's going on, everyone? We're gonna do a couple questions as a hybrid athlete and just kind of do rapid fire questions. I made a list of about 33 questions that I'm just gonna answer and kind of do it like rapidly, like very not edited, because I feel like this is really good content and I don't know. But first off, how many hours a week do I train? I'd say some week, it depends every week. I do three week builds and then 1 week deloads. I'm usually doing around 20 to 25 to 30 hours on the build weeks, and then the deload weeks is more around 15 to 18 hours a week, and it depends on how much I want to lift. Would you rather run trail or road? I've honestly never ran trail, but I went for a hike in Kona 2-3 weeks ago, and I feel like I'm moving to Kelowna, so I feel like I'm gonna like the trail running better than road running, but I also like to run really fast, and road running is to run fast, so I'd say trail running. Would I rather have an out and back course or a loop run course? I would 100% rather have an out and back course, just because when I'm in a loop, when I'm doing like turns and doing all this, first off, you lose energy when you have to turn. Second off, it kind of breaks your rhythm in your zone, because when it's just a straight out and back course, I just lock in, look at the point way ahead of me and keep running. But then on a loop course, you're kind of going all over the place and having to keep thinking about turning and all that. Would I rather run in hot or cold climate? I enjoy running in the hot more, in the sun without a shirt. In the summer, that's definitely my favorite types of runs, but to go faster, it'd probably be colder. What's my fastest track times? Like my 100, 200, 400, 800, 1 mile. I honestly have never timed them. I'm gonna have to do a video on a track to do the times, because I've never really been into track or anything. I hated running as a kid, hated it. I was on the cross country team in high school, and I hated it. Like, I came like 400th out of 600 people. I did not like running. I did not like it at all, but now I obviously like it. Do I run with music? Most times I do, sometimes I don't, usually just to get in the groove and to just clear my head. Sometimes I like to not listen to music, but most times I do. Do you want to qualify for Boston Marathon? I do. I don't know when that's going to come, because I'm going to start training for full Ironmans to make it to Kona, and I feel like I'm going to, I don't know, because my main goal is Kona, and I feel like in that Kona training I can qualify for Boston too, but I have to think about that, and I have to kind of do that, the logistics part of it, and to see when the races would add up. But yeah, I will eventually do Kona and Boston and qualify for it. I just don't know when. Do I want to do Kona? Yes, that's the main goal. Road to Kona. This video is like basically a Road to Kona series. Because after this summer I'm just going to be training for fulls to qualify for Ironman Kona. And I also got an email today about more slot allocations coming out for Nice, France for Ironman Canada, that I got 6th in my age group, so I might get that slot. I don't know, but for this year, do I take pre-workout before a run? Most times no. Most times I just take like a coffee or maybe some caffeine, like a gum or electrolytes, but most time I don't take pre-workout before a run. I just do that because my heart rate usually spikes a ton when I take pre-workout, and most of my runs are based on my heart rate, so that's just not helping at all. Have I tried CrossFit? I have. Do I enjoy it? As a beginner, it's hard as shit, but I could really see how it benefits people that want to do like strength other than endurance, but for myself, I enjoy it. It's not my favorite thing. It's really impactful. I hate like damaging my knees when doing very impactful movements like cleans and all that heavy stuff. Best advice to give a runner: push through telling yourself to stop. So when I first started running, I always told myself to stop, and I did stop until I told myself to keep running. So how did I do that? I imagined my future self like behind me, and if I stopped, my future self would run past me. So then that just put something in my head that to not stop. Obviously I listen to my body, and if something feels off, I don't run through it, because I don't think that's doing anything good for me, for my body. But yeah, don't stop, because when you're first running, it's definitely more mental than physical. You're telling yourself to stop. It's hard to not keep going, but it'll eventually get easier and easier and easier until you're just running through a whole 50-minute workout and you notice you haven't told yourself to stop. What is your favorite exercise outside the gym? I don't know if this is an exercise, but I love surfing. I'd say that's my favorite exercise out the gym. How many calories do you burn running? It depends on every workout. Some workouts are zone 5, zone 4, so that's a lot more higher calorie workouts. But then for long zone 2 runs, like a 2 hour to 3 hour run, that's obviously a lot of calories burnt. But they're usually around 700 to 2,000. And then the shorter ones would obviously be less. Do I stretch before running? I don't stretch, but I more so do mobility work, because I hate to be stagnant when I stretch before like a non-stagnant stagnant exercise. I feel like that's just counterintuitive to you running when you're just like standing there stretching your muscles. I'd rather do that like before bed or something, because it calms me down. And before a run, I want to get my blood moving. I don't want to just be like stagnant stretching. I want to keep moving before a run to get my joints loosened up, my muscles kind of warmed up, and to get me ready for a run. Does running get easier? 110%. It gets easier. Like anything you do, the more you do it, it gets easier every time. But the one thing I could say, once you start getting better and faster and better, your times improve, but it doesn't get easier to get a better time. I'd say it's almost more effort to start getting more PRs as you more so get into running, like a year and a half, 2 years in. But right at the start, as a beginner, you will see massive PRs and massive improvements, and it's definitely a fun time. It's definitely a cool time once you start seeing those PRs, and once you start seeing your body change, your running speed changes, and your heart rate just catch up to your running pace. How do you balance lifting and cardio? I balance lifting and cardio by scheduling my workouts and my training plans. This is what I do for all the Hacks athletes, because every Hacks athlete wants to be strong and fast. We don't just want to be a marathon runner. We want to be holding muscle, not a ton of muscle. We don't want to be like a bodybuilder running, but we want to be somewhat built in a way that we have muscular endurance, but we also have muscular strength. And how do I do that? I do this by lifting 4 to 8 reps, 4 sets. Usually, always the last set will be an AMRAP, so as many reps as possible in the gym. This is just forcing my muscle to hold that strength and to do that heavy weights that I couldn't do 12. Because once we're getting into the higher reps inside the gym, that's more working our muscular endurance. But then when we're doing 4 to 8 reps, that's more our muscular strength. And when is my muscular endurance? That's on my 2 to 3 hour bike. That's on my long runs. That's on my long swims. So I'm mostly doing muscular endurance work, but then Monday to Wednesdays, it's usually a push, pull, lower, and those exercises for my weights inside the gym are 4 to 8 reps to really force my body to just hold on to the muscle and grow strength. I don't want to gain any more mass, but I just want to become stronger. So I'm usually doing like small explosive reps rather than like very slow ones. I mean, I switch it up. It's different every week, but I'd say, yeah, that's how I kind of balance it. How do you gain muscle and still do triathlon? Just like I said, doing the low reps in the gym, but then working on your muscular endurance. So this is how I kind of look at it. So you're training for triathlon, the long hours, running, biking, swimming. This is your muscular endurance part of it. And then your muscular strength is coming from the weights inside the gym to kind of combine into the two. So you're strong and you can do it for a long period of time. What is your favorite exercise inside the gym? I would have to say pull-ups. I love pull-ups. I love like the movement of just like a full kind of upper body movement, it feels like. I've always done pull-ups as a kid, and I think it's just a really overall good exercise. Right now I'm kind of targeting more my back than my chest. I haven't really touched my chest in a while, just because swimming, to have like a tight chest, it does nothing for you. But to have like a tighter back, or to focus on the back, I think it improves your swimming. What's your favorite thing to do outside of training? I would fully say just hanging out with the people I love and the people I like spending time around, and just going out for food, for drinks, hanging out. I love golf. I used to play golf as a kid. I used to play on Team Manitoba. It was so as a kid, I was either gonna pursue hockey or golf, because it was like, if I want to pursue one sport, which one's it gonna be? Because I could either have done like average in both, or like push golf or hockey. So I kind of dropped golf, just because you can always go back to golf at like 70, 80 years old and still be like competitive with it. But hockey's a very like, I'd say, younger sport as a competitive age, so that's why I pursued hockey. And I love watching hockey still. I love playing it when I can. I know I haven't been in a cold climate in a while, but yeah, I love watching hockey, playing hockey, and just watching my friends play it too. A lot of friends are still playing in really good leagues, so I love catching up with them. And yeah, and I love editing. Like, I love doing this. I love doing YouTube. What's my favorite supplement? I would say electrolytes. Electrolytes and creatine, I take those every single day. It really replenishes everything I lose during my sleep, during my workouts, during my sweat. And yeah, I would not be as mentally focused and clear if I wasn't taking both of those. Same with my body. My body wouldn't be performing if I didn't take creatine and electrolytes as much as I do. I take BPN electrolytes. My favorite kind is lemon lime, and a runner-up being strawberry. How do I manage time between training, work, and my social life? I put a schedule in for the day. I put a task list. I put a priority list, so I have tasks to do, because I do run a social media marketing agency. I do run Hacks Club, and I do train, and I do have a personal life. So I make a list at the start of the day, at the start of a week, what I need to get done, and put 1 to 10 priorities. Get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 done. So then I kind of have time to just chill and focus on some other things outside of work. It doesn't feel like work, but yeah, I kind of like to have some chill time too. How do I stay motivated when things get tough? Usually I look at myself and I remember why I started. I remember all the support I've gotten and how this is bigger than me. Me making this video does so much more than just me. It's everyone watching this video. I hope you take something from this video, from my content, from my kind of journey. So that's how I stay motivated. But at the start of it, it was really hard. And you just have to remember, it will work out. It will work out. If you just keep being consistent, if you just keep motivating yourself, and not even motivating yourself, but just looking at the reason why you started it. And if it gets hard, that's usually a good thing, because you have to push through that. And to push through that, you have to grow. And I think growth is a constant improvement in life, and that's a really big reason why I just keep going, because I know it's for a bigger purpose. It's meant to be, and everything happens for a reason. What's my least favorite part of training? Probably the hours committed to it, but I love it. I know it's for a bigger purpose, but that's probably my least favorite part. As well as like just how tired you get some days when the training's a lot and you can't do some things even if you have time, but you just don't have enough energy. Who is your biggest role model? I have 3 big role models for more like a mentor perspective. First off, Nick Bear, Ben Francis, and Devin Levesque. They're all 3 mentors to me and big parts of my life and my kind of inspirations. Ben Francis, founder Gymshark. Nick Bear, founder BPN. Devin Levesque, he's a beast. He is an absolute animal, and he bear crawled the marathon for it was the first person that bear crawled the marathon, and yeah, they're definitely my biggest role models right now. What is the best advice you have ever received from a coach? So this is from my hockey coach in Okotoks, Tyler Dice. He taught me so much, and I remember the first week at camp, he said some really hard things to myself, but he said to me, do not take it personally. Like, I want you to improve. I want you to get better. And before that, I did take it personally. When the coach told me something bad about what I was doing, I was taking it right to internally. So I was taking it personally, and I'd kind of have a grudge against that person. But then when he said that to me, he said some stuff to me, but I took that as, okay, he wants to see me get better. This is not personal to me. This is just him wanting to see me get better. And I think that's the biggest thing that a coach has said to me, is just don't take things personally, because people want you to improve, but if you take it more so like to your ego, then that can really twist it. But if it's not personally, then you can really see a lot of growth from that. What is your definition of success? I'd say doing the stuff you love. If you love doing what you're doing, you're already successful. I think that's the definition of success, and just enjoying the time you have, and not feeling like you have to do anything, but you want to do it in whatever you're kind of doing. What do you think the most important attributes for success is in your sport? I think taking things and learning from them and always wanting to grow, and accepting that you won't always feel like you're going to be growing, but you will. I think that's a big success in triathlon, because it is hard. When you're not seeing PRs, you're not seeing yourself become faster, but just like my last race, you will see yourself grow, you will learn from things, and you will grow. So I think that's successful, in just being open to growing, but not always feeling like that. What advice would you give to younger athletes who are just starting in your sport? It won't always be easy. It will be fun, it will be average, and it will be hard. A third of the time, a third of the time, a third of the time. A third of the time it will be fun, a third of the time it will be average, a third of the time it will be horrible. You will want to quit, but just know that that's okay. That is okay. It will feel like shit some days. It will feel all right, but it's going to make you better. What does it take mentally and emotionally to become a successful athlete? Mentally, I'd say you need to take time away from the sport. You need to take time away doing other things, to take your mind away from it, to become more fresh, to come back to it. And I feel like the balance of personal life, work life, training life, and just your time is very important, because if you don't have your time, then everything else is for something else, and you will get caught up and influenced by other people, and you won't even know what you're doing. So to have your time to journal, to think about what you actually want, to envision yourself and your visions of what you want to do and what I want to do is really important, because everyone is different. And if you're just influenced by one person, then you're living for that person or that person's values. And if you don't know what your values are, then you're not living your life. You're not living your true self. And I was doing that for a bit, 100%. I didn't realize what I was doing. And then I kind of took a step back, looked at myself in the mirror, and kind of created a different path, because I didn't like the path I was going down. So I looked at myself and I said, what do you want to do in life, Blake? What do you want to do? You can do anything you want. What do you want to do? Create your values, create your vision, and just create your life, because you can. And that's kind of what I kind of thought mentally about being a successful athlete and just successful in general. And then emotionally, working on your emotional IQ and being able to control your emotions. I'm getting better at that. I definitely had a hard time with that. I would let a lot of things hit me hard, but now I'm more controlling my state and my mindset. So if something bad happens, I'm level-headed. If something good happens, I'm level-headed, just so I'm more in control and not just wild. And yeah, I feel like stuff could go wrong, and you would make irrational decisions when you're maybe stressed, or you're maybe sad, or you're way too happy or way too sad. So I just like to kind of stay balanced and not let my emotions take over too much of myself. What values have I learned from coaching hacks? Number one is community, and how effective being around individuals can be for your training, for your life, for your motivation, just going through day-to-day life. To have that group chat, to have that Sunday call, to have everything you want to do with other people, and having other people drive you to do other things. Because when someone sends a workout in the hacks group chat, that's motivating me, that's motivating all the other members. And to have that community aspect of it, I think that's something you can't replicate in anything, especially in an individual sport like being a hybrid athlete, running, triathlon, biking, swimming. I think it's community, and just wanting others to win and wanting others to grow as well as yourself to grow. I think it is very true. When you surround yourself with people, you will turn into those people. I've noticed that from traveling a lot the past couple of years, and the more time you hang out with someone, the more you become like them. And to just make sure you surround yourself with people that have the same values as you, because again, if you don't know your values and you hang out or are surrounded by people that don't have your values, you're kind of not living your true self. So to just connect yourself with that, I think that's amazing within the community. And we're dropping the hacks hats on April 30th. We are dropping these on April 30th. Go to hacksapparel.com. We haven't done anything on there yet, but these are the hats. They're just a classic running hat. I've been wearing it for the past 3-4 months, and a lot of people have. We wore these at the race, and they're just a really solid hat that's very good. There's a back strap. It's a very high quality hat. I'm really impressed with how these turned out. And yeah, we don't have a lot of them. Obviously, we don't have a lot of them. But yeah, April 30th, they're gonna sell out. I know they will. But yeah, let's wait until that date. And thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next